trying to put me down on the ground, but I really be jealous, cause I'm the right in their minds. In their minds, screw up with me, boy, don't go crying. In their minds, come on at me, boy, there's a fight. In their minds.
Two unbeaten teams riding that wave in hopes of keeping their AFC competition hopes alive. Will it be Stallion Laguna FC or Davao Aguilas UMak? We will find out as we come to you from the historic Rizal Memorial Stadium. This is Clara Manzano on call for this match alongside Jing Hamlang. What a game we have here. To say it's a titanic matchup, I think it's an understatement.
Oh man, what a pleasure to be here with you and all of our viewers today. There is a special buzz pag may malaking laban sa Philippines Football League, and this is certainly a massive game with huge implications in how things transpire in our title race.
Wow, as we will take a look at our table eventually, the standings, and there is that pecking order. And what do you have to say here? 1 through 15, quite a matchup, especially the upper half.
That's right. No, Stallion, Laguna, and Davao in second and third, as we see both unbeaten, but Davao the only team with still 100% record. But they have yet to be tested really here. They have won 4 times against teams na mid-table to lower end of the table. This time makakalaban nila Stallion, Laguna, that in their last match, nakita natin, these guys are for real. They are going to be title challengers this season. And this match, as you can see at the top of the table, will have huge implications in how things end this week in terms of who will be at the top of the table.
And now that you mentioned that, when we'll zoom in even further at the two teams, will someone be able to assess the recent results and their respective standings and how it's been so far? Dito muna tayo sa Stallion Laguna FC. And you were saying, Jing, we were discussing, this is their second test. They are coming off a draw and back-to-back tests. That's quite a challenge.
100%, and this is what they're going to be looking forward to, and they're actually going to be quite pleased that it's going to be back-to-back big games for them. Dahil alam nila yung kapasidad nila as a squad. They know what they are capable of in terms of their strengths and weaknesses now, and they're going to be hoping to build from that 3-3 draw, which they easily could have won against the Gig.
That's right. As we take a look at it right here, and going through or bouncing off what you were saying, Stallion won the games they had to win, essentially. But there's that roadblock in Wanta Gig FC. So let's see how they'll get chugging in this one. Will they bounce back? Or we'll find out, again, given their team with AFC Cup experience. But we will jump ship this time around to Davao Aguilas UMak of Coach Aber John Rosgal. And ditto what you said here, 100% record, but they have some matches on hand. But this is the first test. Could there possibly be that slight disadvantage? Yung Stallion na test na, yung Davao ngayon lang.
Grabe yung record na pinapakita ng Davao ngayon. No? They have not conceded a single goal. They've won all of their games. Coach Aber Rosgal is going to be extremely happy with what his side has showcased so far dito sa PFL, but the first division is about playing against the very best, and right now they're gonna get a chance to see how they stack up against a potential title contender. Ang dami nagsasabi na dark horse ang Davao.
Yes.
Today we're gonna see just how big of a challenge they have for the title this year.
Right, as we are closing in on our pre-match walk-in, and just to add, Davao yet to concede a goal, so this is big. Time will tell here if they'll be able to pull it off, or will it be Stallion Laguna FC, as we are closing in already. And we will take it pitch side to Naj Miravalles to give us a report.
Thank you, Clara and Jing. When I spoke nga to Coach Ernie of the Stallions, he said that what stood out to him last match were their mistakes. Simula pa lang daw, slow start na, and they weren't able to take advantage of the things that could have won them that game. Pero sabi naman niya, naging magandang awakening to para sa kanilang team. Kaya naman ngayon daw, simula pa lang, they have to press them high right away. At tingnan nga natin kung uubra to, because according to Coach Aber, he had built an environment kung saan ang pinakamahalaga sa kanila ay coachability and character building para nga naman hindi maapektuhan ng outside factors ang kanyang mga players. At lahat daw na nakikita natin this season is a cumulative thing. At ang tanging hiling na lang daw niya sa kanyang mga players every game ay extra effort. Gentlemen.
Lapit pa natin. Here we go. Thank you very much, Naj, for that report. We are nearing our pre-match walk-in already, and Jing, of course, you have experience working at this level. What's running through the mind maybe of the team staff? The players, we get to see them, right? But you guys, people behind the scenes, management and sorts.
We talked about there being a special buzz. These are the games that the players are the most excited for. Wala tayong playoffs dito sa liga natin, no? So every big game ang laki ng nakataya every time, no? This is a potential 6-pointer for these teams, meaning if you win one against your rival, they stay in place while you pick up 3 points. So it will have a huge implication, and these are the games that, you know, mahihirapan ka makatulog the night before because you are so excited that you're going to get tested to your fullest in this 90 minutes. And I'm sure the players of Stallion and the players of Davao have been thinking about this match, not just the previous evening or the one before that, but for an entire week already. They have been thinking about the scenarios that they're going to go up and face today. Sino yung ka-matchup nila and paano nila magagawa na take advantage yung mga attributes ng kalaban nila. So, you know, these two teams, they match up so well as well. Claro, no? So Davao have been so resolute in terms of keeping teams out. Meanwhile, for Stallion Laguna, still have free-flowing. They've been scoring plenty of goals. So we're going to see who nullifies what and who's going to be able to really express themselves and play the football that they want, that they've been practicing all throughout the week.
Right, it's a sprint to the title. Each will play 14 games. It's the league format. Wala tayong finals games or knockout games. And some people, I think, just thrive in those environments. Some, of course, you could see siguro kinakabahan sila or they just succumb to the pressure. But with these two teams, we will find out. With Stallion Laguna, they did say that they are working really hard to beef up their foreign roster. As assistant coach and one of their co-owners, Clint McDaniel, said, as we are nearing our pre-match walk-in, we'll get in with Davao Aguilas UMak a little bit dito sa ating kwentuhan afterwards. But it's the walk-in already. It is Davao Aguilas UMak and Stallion Laguna FC competing in the Philippines Football League. Here we go as we see our match officials. John Mike Basinang is our referee. Relly Balila at si Merlo Albano ay ang ating assistant referee. Sila in charge sa offside. Segundo Saluri III ay ang ating fourth official at si Ray Retaga ay ang referee assessor. And si Mr. Richard Ganaban ay ang ating match commissioner. And we see our respective captains, Matt Nieras with the armband for Stallion Laguna FC. And for Davao Aguilas UMak, it is Philippines international Daisuke Sato. And he is, of course, their high-profile signing from the off-season. What a story with Davao getting to pick them up, as assistant team manager Luis Atayde did say.
Fantastic to see Daisuke Sato playing once again in the top flight of Philippine football. Such a character, so much quality as well, and just brings a fieriness to every match that he plays in. And Daisuke Sato, isa sa mga superstar para dito sa Davao Aguilas in a squad that is otherwise filled with not really stars here. Ang inassemble dito ni ni Coach Rusgal is a team that fits his needs. And it's a team of role players, so to speak, but it's a fantastic set of players that he has at his disposal. It is a very potent attack with the front three that they have. And si Daisuke Sato, he's actually playing in midfield para sa Davao Aguilas. So an interesting role para sa kanya. Meanwhile, lipat tayo dito sa Stallion. They have been free-flowing, they've been potent going forward, particularly dahil si Finn McDaniel has been firing on all cylinders this year, and he's flanked by Trujillo and Dorado, who have been on fire on the flanks. And kung titingnan mo yung gitna nila with Sirigliano and Rosa Negrera, it's such a strong set of players that they've assembled here. It's such an interesting set of matchups on the pitch, but also on the sideline, Claro, dahil ang dalawang Filipino coaches natin are going head-to-head, and they're gonna see if they can outwit one another here. One very, very experienced in Ernie Nieras, and the other one of the most exciting prospects on the sideline with Coach Aber Rusgal.
He sure did give us a show last Copa with the way their respective teams performed. We are off. Davao Aguilas UMak are in their all-white. Stallion Laguna are in their pink and black uniforms. Davao playing left to right with possession. Stallion defending, playing from right to left. And they'll get this to the wing quickly. Charles Pickering got his work cut out. And there's Ken Pride. Galiana, the clearance. And I think Jing, just bouncing off what you said, Sato being that central midfielder. I guess he's put there because he has that chance to really influence the game as opposed to his usual left-back position.
Well, I think they threw us a curveball in the formations, actually, Claro. So sa graphics, doon nila nilagay si Daisuke Sato, but looking on the pitch right now, he's actually slotted in defense. So we're going to see exactly where he pans out in the end, but it looks like he might be in a more familiar role in the back line.
When I got to cover one of their games also here in Rizal, he was deployed in center back.
Yun nga, that's exactly where I'm seeing him at the moment. So it is a little bit of an unfamiliar position, but nonetheless, it is a defensive role and not a central midfield role, as we were made to believe.
So we see Magson Dorado earlier. It was Dong Villarreal who had a very long stint with Stallion and jumped ship here to Davao for the Copa. And there's a look at Christian Schaffner. He's been excelling in that wing-back position.
He's been very good, Claro, and he's really been able to cement his place in the starting 11 in a packed squad para sa Stallion Laguna.
But given all the newcomers, you said it, he's been able to hold his own. So we have a corner from the looks of it. Galiana Trujillo. He's been in the Philippines for quite some time already. His biggest experience before coming was in the third tier in Mexico, where he's from. He'll give us an in-swinger. Looks like the Davao backline got their head to it. Schaffner sends it back. This one will just go out. Watara will resume play.
In terms of physical advantage, when you're looking on the pitch, Stallion look much bigger. They look like they're going to be able to impose themselves physically. Pero ang Davao, they've been known for their defensive solidity and organization and discipline. So makikita natin, no? If they will be able to showcase that once more against this Stallion side, who, when we're looking here from the goal kick, they look intent to press and make it difficult to build up. Davao going long.
Stallion with a 3-4-3 formation that they've been using to flex their muscles against teams again whom they were somewhat expected to beat and are below the rankings. Well, with Davao, we see them grind it out. They've had close wins, 1-0, 2-0, you name it, as we said earlier in our pre-match talk.
Pero ang pinaka-importante doon, Claro, is 0 goals conceded.
Right.
Yun talaga yung point of pride nila as a team. Even in preseason, they've made it a point to be extremely solid. You can't lose if you don't concede any goals. That's the bottom line para sa Davao. And even in the Copa Paulino Alcantara, where they went all the way to the final, they were very difficult to break down. In fact, isang anomalya lang dun sa campaign nila was a 4-0 defeat contra, to guess who, Claro?
The same team right here.
Exactly. So Stallion was the only team that was able to get past them and really run riot against Davao. So we are so curious to find out if that'll be the case once again here in the PFL.
And Coach Aber was saying, every game is different kahit parehas yung kalaban mo after some time. And he's just confident in this one.
It is a great point. It's a completely different Davao squad that we have here. No Paulo Bugas, no Limbo. Of course, no Yannick Tuason. It's a different cast of players that he's assembled here, and it's also a very different Stallion on the pitch.
And those names you just mentioned, of course, who departed Davao are big, right? They were essentially the core players, as we see a look at Schaffner. Schaffner with Division II experience in the US NCAA. Dorado tried to flick it to him. Nieras was there trying to hold them door. Gabe Silva, another returnee to Stallion. Ken Pride was a shoe-in at fullback for Stallion last year. Same case now. Deliana Trujillo trying to hustle hard against this man, but he's adjudged to the foul.
Important player to keep quiet, Galeana. If he gets going and he's able to express himself on the right side, it's going to be a real problem for Davao.
Deliana Trujillo, often the man who does connect with Finn McDaniel up front, their main scorer. Galeana Trujillo, though, with 4 goals this season. We've seen, of course, top teams take a great number of goals, as we know. As here's a chance forward, and it is just over. Close but not quite, but what a warning shot from Richard Talarok.
You see how incisive Davao can be. It looked like Talarok wasn't really in a space to threaten, but he saw the run, spotted it, and really weighted that ball very well. A better finish could have seen Davao already ahead here.
Yeah, if they got it on target, it would have been also difficult for Fredo Cortez or Freddy Cortez to save it. Pickering will try to track down. Pickering a natural striker, but he's been giving some run as we see the shot here.
It's hard to track that man because he's come all the way from left back to get into the back of that defense. So sneaky yung run na yun.
So of course you'd like that if you're Coach Aber. Gabe Silva. There's a big change though in this Stallion starting 11 at Abe Placito is on the bench.
That's right. That's a big one. No Placito today, and he's been instrumental in how they've played in midfield so far.
So he's on the bench, I was told, due to precaution. Just got some knocks against Philippine Army, the also physical Philippine Army. And they had that tough one, of course, against Wantagig. Here's Nieras up against Endor. That ball from Clarinho just came off of Schaffner. Dong Villarreal will opt for the long ball. They get it over to the middle. OJ. He may have mishit that, but he's saying it came off a man from Stallion. That looks like the case.
It nicked one of the players, and they are going to get a throw in deep into enemy territory here. The fullback's very active. Para kay Coach Rusgal.
And they'll try to exploit it. That there's Richard Talarok letting it go quickly. And what a tackle there from the likes of Pride, getting it to the middle quickly. Dorado. He does have experience in Thai League 1. As he switches it over. But it's up now for them to chase. Into the middle now. Ome. Some shirt pulling. Referee played advantage. Unoki got it over. Still working down the left. Gabe Silva will try to get that stop. It's a safety first, but nonetheless, Davao are getting up bit by bit, growing in confidence.
Looking confident, as you mentioned, no? Calm with the ball. And they know exactly where the spaces are for them to exploit.
Yes, there will be another throw-in similar to earlier. It's into the edge of the area. Just sent back. Not enough power there. It's picked up by Cortez. Cortez with 4 clean sheets in this tournament so far. The same can be said, of course, for Dini Watara, given they have not conceded at all. Stallion conceding against the likes of One Taguig. That was a 3-all thriller. Nieras. Gabe Silva. Pickering. And this one came off of Onoki. Ibrahima indoor. But Cortez there again to get it. And Cortez, one of their foreign players. Stallion utilizing all 6 foreign player spots. Kasama dun yung goalkeeper, or one has to be a keeper. Davao with 5 by my initial count.
And they've got plenty more on the bench as well. When we're talking about Stallion, kaya naman nakikita natin si Noguera on the pitch. They're not losing a lot of quality despite missing out on the services of Placito today. Isa talaga yun sa mga feature ng squad na inassemble this year ni Coach Ernie Nieras. It's brimming with foreign talent. But of course, at any point in time on the pitch, it's just 5+1. Right. 5 outfielders and 1 in between the sticks.
Right, as we know, Stallion have that knack for recruiting players. A lot have gone through their pipeline. Schaffner will try to send his long ball in, going for Galiana. Here comes Pickering, sending it back. Watara saw it was no good from the get-go. I think that was more of a cross.
Sato so good in the air despite being small. You saw it there. He attacked it very aggressively, and they kept the ball far away from their box. It wasn't a bad hit, though, from Pickering, especially given the angle.
So it's resumed. That was the slide, and it's out. So again, this is the first test of Davao. First time this season they're facing an opponent in the upper half. Coach Aber did say, of course, may the best team win. And he said Davao joined the PFL because these are the type of matches that they want to play. For Stallion, again, it's the second, as we said. Second test, the first one versus One Taguig, facing another top-tier team. So their 100% record was derailed, as it's with Cortez.
They very easily could have won that game, Claro, and they perhaps, if you look at the highlights, they should have. They got saved from the penalty spot. Finn McDaniel had a great opportunity from the rebound as well. And first of all, what a match that was. But Stallion will be disappointed na hindi nila nakuha yung all 3 points, and they're going to be looking at this game and thinking, we cannot have another slip-up against a potential challenger.
I asked Coach Ernie about that game versus Taguig, and he straight up went pissed, mad, and mad. They gave up a penalty. There you go, as you said. But he said hats off to Taguig, of course, because they're definitely a formidable team. Nieras sent this to the middle. Schaffner. Magson Dorado, the Brazilian, showing us his footwork, getting his opponents to dance. Gabe Silva trying to join forward and help in the attack. Pickering tried to get it over to Leo Henrique and Noguera. Now Davao will reset from the back. And just an update, Cebu have a 2-1 lead versus One Taguig FC. We heard earlier that Taguig equalized.
Wow. Cebu, of course, coming off a very frustrating and heartbreaking defeat to Kaya FC Iloilo when they conceded very late in that game. And I say late, it was in added time. So, you know, they're going to be looking to bounce back to keep their title charge on track. That's going to be a big one if they are able to complete all 3 points against the Taguig.
Cebu have made their home a fortress, so they're really taking advantage of that. I got to cover a game there, absolutely electric. But it's on here. Juan Galiana wins a free kick in the process. He was going up against Richard Talarok. And it looks like Finn McDaniel will be giving the service. Let's see how this one will go.
It's an aspect to his game that's perhaps a little bit underrated. Siyempre, top goal scorer si Finn McDaniel, so his goal scoring is the primary feature of his game that's being looked at right now, but he's also a very good facilitator of the ball.
There were times also in the last PFL season where he was their corner kick taker.
And syempre, nung binanggit natin yon, klaro, nag-play siya ng short.
Did he hear us, or is it the commentator's curse? Let's ask him later. Nieras got us over to Deliana Trujillo, but it is no good. The defense seemed to do its job. And there's Dini Watara. Will he give us his celebration dance if they find the back of the net?
Iconic, Dini Otara.
Right, of course. Wherever he goes, of course, that's 1 point. And that's one talk from the crew. As we say that, and it didn't work out. I think it's the second commentator's curse. These guys.
We're closing in on 15 minutes here, Claro, and nakikita natin no, that Davao, despite that last hiccup there, they are extremely well drilled. They know where to push Stallion, where they feel they are least threatened. And Stallion, sa ngayon, no, medyo nagkakaroon sila ng probing phase, where they're trying to figure out exactly how to find the pockets of room here. And Trujillo got pretty close there.
The likes of Sapal got to collect though. Endure, they try to give them some offense. But Pickering just delays it. So as we were saying, Pickering playing wing back away from his usual or natural striker position. So Davao with a throw in. Again, these teams definitely going all out, because the top-ranked team here in the PFL with an AFC license will represent the Philippines in the AFC Champions League 2. And one slot, as we know, Jing, the qualifying playoff slot was nabbed by Kaya FC as a result from winning the Copa Paulino Alcantara.
And I'm sure they're not happy about that yet. I mean, they're going to want to get straight to the group stage and not pin their hopes in a qualifying spot. But that is the carrot that's being dangled in front of these teams, and it's a big one, you know. The opportunity to play and test yourself against some of the best in the region. It's a fantastic challenge.
Schaffner versus Dong Villarreal. Schaffner refusing to give up, and in the process commits that foul. Villarreal, always a tough guy to beat.
Veteranong veterano itong si Reynald Villarreal from the days of the UFL. He was playing with the Green Archers all the way here. You can see talagang pang first division pa rin ang nilalaro ni Reynald Villarreal, and he's getting a resurgence in his career para dito sa Davao.
And Villarreal, of course, when Stallion were stacking up with players over the years, he somewhat just lost his spot in rotation. When he found his home now, I think that's tough sometimes. You have guys competing for the same slots, just so close in level of talent, work rate, you name it. Gabe Silva just sending it back.
It's so interesting, you know, like as you mentioned, Villarreal medyo naging out of favor siya nung panahon niya sa Stallion, but you know, it's a matter of the right ingredients being put together in a particular way for the recipe to work out. You know, it's not necessarily that one ingredient doesn't work. It's just that it hasn't been placed with the right pieces. And here with Coach Aber, mukhang nakahanap siya ng bagong tahanan na medyo mas maganda ang mix niya with his fellow players.
There's definitely a lot of moving parts given that. As we have another update, it's 3-1 for Cebu FC over Wantagig FC. And we saw with possession earlier, it does favor Stallion Laguna FC, understandably. Would you say, Jing, are they getting the most out of possession, or are you still expecting more aggression or more play in the final third?
Well, I'm not surprised that they are getting more possession, but Davao have been allowing them the ball in spaces where they don't feel threatened right now. And as you can see, Dini Otara hasn't had much to do. Right? He's gathered that one, but it's a safe ball. Right? So, tinutulak nila yung Stallion sa mga lugar na para sa kanila okay lang, nahawak niyo yung bola doon.
So this one played long. How will Nieras handle it? Second ball though was taken by Ome. He tried to thread it off of Nieras. Dorado, will he hit the Jets now? Quite a test for a veteran in OJ Clarino. Coach Aber is furious though. He's often a cool guy, I will say, cool and calm. But Dorado wins it for them.
Hey, it happened right in front of him. Omei coming in hot though. Let's have a look. A little bit of a stiff arm, but he got a lot of the ball initially, it seemed. And he was in better position to hold on to possession.
As there was a nutmeg also, and we will turn it over
To
to
Clarence
Nash
Jing,
Miravalles.
fans see what is happening on the pitch, but they don't have any idea what's happening outside. Being a coach of a team with veterans and young guns, the first thing that Coach Aber saw was the need to fix these players' environment. Sabi niya, magkakaibang edad, magkakaibang experiences, pero dapat same level of coachability. Lalo, he is a coach na high intensity. Gusto niya, they are all in the same page. Dahil ika nga niya, these things are building blocks of a strong team. At kung hindi daw siya makakahanap ng environment that is conducive sa gusto niyang mangyari for his players, then they will create their own kung kinakailangan. Back to you, Clarence Jing.
Q panel, Q panel.
Thank you very much, Natch, for that report. Silva gets it, back to the action. Traffic from right to left again. Let's just take a look at players, of course, with a target on their backs as they give this one to Dorado. Will he keep it in? Great skill, but it was 2-1-1. Over to Talarok. Cart, to be exact. Omei. Omei versus Leo Henrique. Now it's to the left. Davao getting forward patiently. He tried to flick it, but Ken Pride will send it back to Cortez. And Cortez has shown us throughout this season that he can sure send that ball long. Dorado. He loved the atmosphere, of course. Both teams bringing in their respective drums, their supporters groups. They could possibly spell the difference here.
That's what it's about. You know, you're here on a Sunday at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. You want to bring in an atmosphere. And isa yun sa mga kagandahan ng PFL. Again, this is a resurgence to this league. And one of the aspects of kind of a new atmosphere is that may kakayanan kang gumawa ng sarili mong atmosphere. You know, it's nothing set already. So I love that these fans are coming together and building their own atmosphere here at RMS.
As we got to see Shoma Sato deny that ball for Finn McDaniel. Kita nga natin, medyo alanganin yun.
I just want to go back to something that Naj mentioned. No, there was a lot of eyebrows that were raised when this team got basically gutted after their Copa Paulino Alcantara run, which they made it to the final. Ang sabi nga natin, they pushed Kaya all the way to penalties. The idea that a lot of people had was that we had to keep this group together. Obviously, ito na yung may potential, but Coach Aber gutted that team. And he basically told everybody, wait and see. Say what you want about this side and that we've failed in the offseason. But tingnan natin pag simula ng PFL. And right now, he's been proven correct. You know, we're seeing, I mean, it's still early stages in this game, but they look like they're ready to go toe-to-toe with the bigger teams here in the PFL.
You gotta love that. So you get their confidence because your coach has no fear, and that's kind of part of their job. As Silva hustled hard.
It's quite a departure as well from what Davao Aguilas was initially. No? In 2017, 2018, Davao Aguilas was a superstar team, assembled basically just to get the best players out there on the pitch. Kayo na bahala, right? Now it's the opposite approach. The coach has been given all the power to assemble the squad. What pieces do you need? And can you make it work? With a lower profile, he's showing that, you know, as long as I get the right profile, the right talents together, and as he mentioned, the right environment to work, and we're seeing the benefits of that right now.
As it's with Dorado now. Will he shake off Clarino? But their support from Cartalarok. Cartalarok, one of those key players or key cogs from the last Copa run. Dorado in the middle. He'll try to make his luck there. Ciriliano.
Ooh.
Sorry, I'm speechless there. As we know, the Argentinian youth international, or former Argentinian youth international. And with what they were saying, of course, Stallion have a talent in Christian Ivanovsky, who has a lot of experience in the Americas. Stallion teased us in their Twitter. wait until you see his friend. So that is the friend with Ciriliano.
He is quality.
As it's on the other end, Trujillo trying to play childhood friend Finn McDaniel. But it's picked up. Unoki. Davao just trying to bring it now. Oh, not in the same page. Offside yung tawag dun. Tough luck there.
And this is where it's going to be the challenge for Davao, getting forward in transition after having so many men behind the ball. First of all, great challenge to get that, and then putting Endure in a highlight that he does not want to be in.
Man. As play will resume. And just bouncing off what you were saying, piecing together that report from Naj and then what you said in the starting 11, it's like Davao have that collection of blue-collar players, high-quality role players, working well in that aspect.
In many ways, yung mga binabanggit mo nga, yung mga na-discard na ng mga ibang koponan, no? But Coach Rusgal sees attributes in these players that he can work with. And we're seeing that, collectively, when you put it together, it's actually very, very formidable. But it's a great run here on the right side.
Duatara gets it calmly, though.
Yung mga underrated, yan yung mga kinukuha ni Coach Aber.
And that's exactly what assistant team manager Luisa Taide said. They're Davao a bit looked down on in the Copa. And yes, they made the finals, right? And lost to Kaya. But Ataide did say their humble goal was to make it to the knockout rounds. Parang nag-recalibrate na lang, huy, nandito tayo. I think we can go all the way.
At kung maaalalanin natin, silang unang nakascore kontra sa Kaya in that match. And they went into halftime with a lead. In fact, it was the defending champions of the PFL who were, the more nervous, the worried of the two parties.
Right in that game, of course, Davao with that nothing to lose mentality. It looks like there's a hard challenge. Daisuke Sato furious. But you got to do that as your captain, of course. You got to look out for your teammates. You want to get into the heads also, I'm assuming, of your counterparts. Here's the replay.
Walang contact, pero it's the intent of the challenge. Of course, he came in lunging. To be fair to him, his studs weren't up, right? That's going to save him in that. And no card's going to be given, I don't think, simply because hindi naka-show yung studs niya and hindi mataas ang kanyang challenge. No? Endure did well to evade the tackle. He did try to sell it. And of course, there was no contact.
I don't think the fall was quite awkward or anything. Trying to use veteran moves, but no avail there. Cartalaro tried to flick it to the middle. O.J. Clarino.
But you gotta love that. Ang sabi mo nga, no, si Sato, ang bilis niyang pumunta doon para kausapin yung referee. And you want that. You want to start planting the seeds and see, try to get any advantage you might be able to get. And at the same time, of course, protecting na rin yung kakampi mo.
Especially he's the veteran, he's the captain. Shafter got it over. Enrique, Ciriliano. A Stallion man down. Dorado up against Clarino. Schaffner. He did see some space. Pickering. Galiana Trujillo. Ken Pride. Ken Pride with very supportive family. He flew all the way to catch him last year. Pickering losing it in the middle, though, was just swarmed. Davao working together on defense. This one given to Clarino. Ciriliano from behind. Looked like shoulder to shoulder.
It's clean.
I think the ball might have gone past the touchline, though. Throw in. That's the signal from our referee.
Yun, natapik lang ng konti before it went out. Ciriliano struggling a little bit. I'll tell you what, Claro, it's going to get spicy in midfield. There's been a few coming togethers that will warrant some pushback from the opposite end. So it's going to get physical in there.
Cortez just gets this one. He'll try to kill that momentum of Davao. And I'd like to add, I assume the Megs here and there, they'll take it personally.
Oh,
chip in their shoulder.
I'm telling you right now, Endure is not going to forget that. Neither will his teammates. In fact, see So Omei. He's a man to look out for as well.
Update from Cebu, it is 3-1 for the Gentle Giants over Wantagig FC. That's also going to be big here in our title race.
Napakalaki niyang resulta na yan para sa Cebu dahil nanggaling sila sa pagkatalo. It's a test of character and a test of how much they really want to win the title this year. And if they can come back in a resurgent way, then their title challenge is still on track. Of course, it's not completely in their hands, in that they'll need Kaya to drop some points along the way, but a game against the Gig, who Kaya drew with, that's a big one.
Because we saw it early already. United City did lose a game, right? Early in the season and have to play catch-up already. Similarly for Kaya in Taguig because of the draw. Kung draw, medyo pwede pa. But you never want to lose points, right? To oversimplify the title race. 14 games, win it all. Easier said than done, as we know. And we just like to remind you that Star Polaris is the official match ball of the PFL. Silva will opt to go long. Villarreal. Davao will try to get it out. Cleared off and received well. What a touch. They give this to Ibrahima Endor against Gabe Silva. Silva to Cortez. Stallions foreign players, mostly from the Americas. Ciriliano applying pressure. OJ Clarino couldn't get it, though I think he stumbled a bit in that run. Schaffner sent it out.
It's a good touch initially from Sapal. To control in the middle. He's been busy on the right side, OJ Clarino. One of the biggest questions that we need to ask right now, 30 minutes into this game, ilang touches na si Finn McDaniel?
We can actually take a look at the stats and let's see, but it's been quite limited from what we've been seeing.
Yeah.
Davao been locked down on defense as they try to play it here to Finn McDaniel. Not a great touch again, sent out to the side by Shoma Sato.
You know, it's not an easy task to be starved of the ball and then to be expected whenever the ball does come your way to get a secure touch and to be able to get a shot away, no? Pero yan ang hinihingi ngayon ng Stallion mula kay Finn McDaniel.
From what we're seeing at the least, no shots, no dribbles in this game. You see some shirt pulling now in the process. How will Davao get out of this danger area? The defending third. Here they go. They have some space. Here's Ken Pride trying to delay that. Ciriliano. Finn McDaniel. Might have been the first touches of the game. And flooring a man in that process. And it is Sato showing some love.
And Sato was ready for a little outburst and decided against it. He's a passionate guy, Daisuke Sato. He's a fun man to watch. I'm telling you, he's going to be playing with Finn McDaniel's emotions today. That's for sure.
Parehas medyo veterano na rin, no? As we see. Fans loving that, of course. Hey, at the end of the day, Jing, let's call it sportsmanship.
It's all love. It's all love.
There you go. And Davao on the edge of the area trying to check Cortez.
Wow.
I think it grazed the crossbar. But from the looks of it, Unoki was saying or arguing Stallion got a touch. Closest so far in this game.
Wow, wow, wow. Great attempt mula kay Yusuke Unoki. And nakikita natin dito, Coach Ernie Nieres has seen enough. He's going to pull the trigger in the first substitution.
And out comes Leo Noguera Henrique. And in comes Salazar. One foreigner out, one foreigner in.
That's one thing that you will see mula sa Stallion, no? Dahil ang dami nilang foreign talent. It's also a huge amount of pressure in each one of these players na meron kang kapalit na naghihintay, no? Sa previous years sa PFL, limited ang squad of foreigners. So you know that, you know, you're going to be preferred a lot of the time. I mean, that's the reason why you were picked up. But right now, Stallion, you're not performing. Ito, meron tayong kapalit. Si Salazar ngayon, papasok.
And Coach Ernie, as we know, tough to please. But it's a throw in here for Laguna.
Let's just go back to that chance though. Yusuke, fantastic effort. And he's tried to chip it in such a nice way. Like, they have less possession. They've been doing a lot of defending, but the two best chances of the match, you can argue, have come the way of the Davao Aguilas.
Let's see if they'll work their magic in the counter. Finn McDaniel gets it. It's onside there, but here comes Sato. Cartalaro. OJ Clarino. Endor couldn't get it. Ken Pride. Galiana Trujillo gets it. Now over to Salazar. First touches of the game. Try to get past Sapal. And gets it back. Ciriliano from Gabe Silva. Ciriliano, as we see, just taking a leisurely pace, but when he gets the ball, just that different gear, and he'll round you, he'll meg you, pretty much, as opposed to his compatriot Ivanovsky on the bench, who's that dribbler type of guy.
And certainly don't mistake Ciriliano's lack of movement for a lack of wanting to be involved.
I wanted to ask you, actually.
He knows where he needs to be, and with Davao so deep, he knows that he doesn't need to be moving around too much, but he is in space when he's needed.
Not exactly that style where you have to run around, be all over the place, of course. Silva, Ciriliano again. Assessing his options. He did have some space for a bit. Schaffner.
Of course, one of the benefits of being here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium is you get a better vantage point of all the players. And you will see, itong si Ciriliano, one thing that he does do when he doesn't have the ball is he's always looking around. He's always trying to see where the spaces are that they can exploit.
When you watch top-level talent, what you said, in person, and Sato, another player, right? The story with Sato actually is Davao didn't really have to court him or approach him. He showed interest. He was just getting in touch with the team, having casual conversations. It wasn't any game of cat and mouse.
He's got roots in Davao, knew what he wanted, and kaya nga siya yung parang anomalya dito sa kupunan ni Coach Aber kasi siya lang yung superstar, right? And pero when you look at and you look into the story of it, you can see that he's got the character and the profile that fits exactly in. He's extremely passionate, and hindi siya prima donna. You know, he's not that guy that you need to make concessions for in order to please him. No, he wants to be a part of this squad. He wants to be a part of this project. He wants to lead it, in fact.
No BS, nothing in between. And I did hear, actually, when, understandably, when Davao was loaded right before they ceased, they were actually trying to go for Sato. No surprise, of course. As Cortez gets this.
Now he's bringing a wealth of experience into this squad. He's been around Thailand. He's played in, you know, in Indonesia, and
even as far as Romania.
He's an incredible talent.
Dorado versus Cartalarok. Cartalarok couldn't flick it against Dorado. Konting banggaan. We see Dorado sending his apologies to Omei. What you said, Jing.
I'm telling you.
It's getting heated.
There is gunpowder everywhere here. It's just gonna be a slight spark, and this thing is gonna be fireworks.
Don't like to say we condone it, but we're watching or calling it as we see it. Because again, when top teams face, all games are like finals, right? Especially the ones with the top-ranked teams going against each other.
Absolutely. Ito, nakakaramdam na itong si John Mike Basinang. He knows things are gonna pop off at any moment, and he has to be ready to control this game. Of course, as Stallion, medyo may kasamang frustration yan. Hindi nila na-express yung sarili nila. And at the same time, you know, Davao, they know how to get into the heads of their opponents.
As we are 7 minutes away from additional time. And that's one more thing to add. You can't sense that in the broadcast. Join us here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. The tension in the air or the atmosphere, you could feel it as there's a collision between Shoma and Finn McDaniel.
Shoma looks like he might have hurt himself in the process. But he has been locking Finn McDaniel down. Ngayon, may konti siyang pabitaw ng konti dito kay John Mike Basinang. Sinasabi niya perhaps he was clipped on the play. Actually, it looked like he was the one doing the pushing. Not sure.
And oh, here you go. First booking of the match. I think he voiced his displeasure at the referee.
And not what you want to see, you know. You made the contact. You stopped the play in the center of the field. There's no threat. And then you talked your way into a booking. That's not what you want to see.
See, it's unnecessary, but the booking was when we were seeing the replay with what Shoma Sato is doing, and from what I know, not related to Daisuke. Gabe Silva resumes it. What Shoma's doing, it's a dirty job, but someone's gonna do it. Lockdown Finn McDaniel. Well, let's make an exception. It's Davao. It's a dirty job. Everybody does it with that blue-collar mentality. Everyone working hard, high-level role players.
No, I absolutely love what they're doing. You know, looking at it from up here, how committed they are in every challenge, how intense they are in every duel. They're not taking any nonsense today, and they have each other's backs. So right now, Davao doing exactly what they need to do to stifle Stallion.
As we saw, there was that unsuccessful ball, a little bit too high for Charles Pickering. And Pickering does have a great height, mind you, relatively tall. Again, that quest for AFC Champions League 2 football. There's like that internal, I don't really know if you call this one a bet, but if they do make it, they said Coach Aber will come out in a full suit if they play AFC competition this year. And that's the pressure from Laguna. They did force Davao to crack and make a mistake. Schaffner.
Pangalawang beses na yan. Sorry to cut you off, no, Claro, but they've struggled in their set piece there, no? So they've been working, you know, they've been working on their goal kicks, and they like to play short and try to find the outlet. And they're looking to exploit the space on the flank, sort of in the mid-third, but they haven't been able to find the accuracy to that pass yet. And Stallion doing well to ensure that they minimize the amount of time that Davao has on the ball.
When you refer to the wings, there's Dorado on the left, Galiana Trujillo on the right. And Dorado has shown us, of course, he can ball, he's got that footwork. He's really exploited a lot of fullbacks so far this season.
The problem is there's no space today. No space for him to use his pace, to use his trickery. Right now, he's been a frustrated figure.
A lot different, as we say again. Watara sending it long. Schaffner got it back. Nieras the long ball to Dorado. Mission accomplished there. Clarino securing. A long ball to answer back. Gabe Silva versus Cart Talarok. He's got it forward, but to the wrong man. Clarino. And as we know, Clarino also a coach in the university level. He's been through it all, you could say. And from all of his experience, he said character is what makes or breaks players. Getting here, especially to the pro ranks. As we see possession now, pretty much similar, 55-45.
Speaking of Clarino, isa sa mga players na naglaro na for so many top clubs. And is being given a huge opportunity here to be a key cog in this run of Davao Aguilas UMak.
Davao trying to play long as of late. Clarino versus Schaffner. Schaffner also with a following, thanks to his vlog. Covering Philippine football, mind you.
I gotta love it.
He's become a favorite in the community.
Silang dalawa ni Paulo Bugas ata, head-to-head. Who's the better vlogger?
And with the stats, one shot pa lang.
We have to test that because obviously Yusuke had a shot as well on the opposite side, and there was one that hit the crossbar, and the other one was that pass mula kay Cart Talarok, no?
Right.
So actually,
Baka yung on target, possibly.
that's right. That's right.
Nonetheless, it's been a great game so far. Some people may have gotten used to the goal fests, goals every 5-10 minutes. But this is what football's all about. That play in the middle, the chess match in the midfield. Players dumidiskarte in the attacking end. That teamwork. as we see Endure win them a free kick in a promising area.
Promising is correct. Endure working hard there against two. Matt Nieres just getting a little too physical with the hands. And Endure earning himself a free kick here.
Definitely across from this angle, really tight. Parang corner kick na dinaya mo ng konti.
A lot of bodies forward for Davao. Everybody up except for two.
And how do you see this one? Do Stallion have the advantage in terms of height, or is it Davao?
Stallion definitely with a physicality advantage, but we'll see how Davao attack this one.
The defense got it of Stallion. Pickering over to Galiana Trujillo. Some space to operate. Down comes Taisuke Sato. Trujillo using what he has. Schaffner getting up well.
Beautiful
Dorado.
transition mula sa Davao rather. So many white shirts sprinting, full sprinting back to get into position.
Salazar, we saw the loose pass from Nieres. Ciriliano uses trickery. Galiana Trujillo gets it, taking touches in the box. Swarm though. But Sapal got it now. Ibrahima Indor unleashing on the counter. Gabe Silva hoping to get a stop, unsuccessful. Taking it, saw the keeper quite out of line. But definitely no good from there, but he missed the shots he don't take.
Had a fantastic runner on the left side. And you can see there's a bit of frustration. Hindi lang nakita ni Endure na may suporta siya.
Of course, maybe a better decision there in hindsight, but hindsight again. And we're in the comforts of the broadcast panel. Dorado just keeps it in. Schaffner versus Talarok. But it's picked up well by Ome. And a whistle here in favor of Davao in white again. They're playing from left to right. Stallion Laguna in their pink and black uniforms playing right to left.
Quietly has had a very solid game. So Ome para dito sa Davao. He has not been intimidated by his midfield rivals, and when you look at the midfield, yun nga, nababanggit mo, Argentinian youth national, and you have Salazar there, and earlier it was Noguera who was there as well. He's made it look like he's right at home between those giants.
Hindi sila natatakot, hindi sila nasa starstruck. It's Nieras versus Clarino. Former teammates, Clarino used to play also for Stallion. As you said, he's moved to different teams for good reasons. Parang journeyman for a good reason. Because you're in demand.
So much experience para kay OJ Clarino. And has an analytical mind as well. Kasi nga, nabanggit mo, no? He is a coach for UP. Or heading to the finals of the UAAP, by the way.
Yes, that will take place sometime next week. He is the assistant to his brother as we eventually have the halftime whistle goalless as we speak. Well, what a match. High-level football here. Both teams going at it. You said we're expecting fireworks. May konti, we could say. But what's your assessment here, Jing, before we head to our short break?
Yeah, definitely a high-level match. Great action on the pitch and a great duel on the sideline between the two coaches. I am so excited to see how they make their adjustments in the second half.
Let's see how our respective coaches in Abra Rosgal for Davao and Coach Ernie Nieras for Stallion will be able to make those changes that we are talking about. And we'll be back after a short break. we had the halftime break at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, the Philippines Football League action. Davao Aguilas, UMak FC 0, Stallion Laguna FC 0. No goals like other games that we've seen throughout the course of this tournament, Jing, but it's sure been quality football right here.
100% quality is the perfect way to describe it. Both teams have been very dangerous at times, but the battles, especially in midfield, have been spectacular, and Stallion has been amongst the top performers so far. But Davao have hit the woodwork. They've come close, and despite having less possession, they have looked very organized and very disciplined, and they don't look like they're out of place against one of the early favorites para sa title in Stallion Laguna.
And Davao, as we know, one of the big guns. And again, their coach did say they signed up to play in games like these, playing against Stallion, who do have AFC Cup experience, and now these two squads aspiring to take an AFC competition slot. And how do you do that? You top the league, you win it. Easier said than done, but action aplenty. Here's a look at our statistics and what are like the big points here we see so far.
You see how tight the game is, right? Madami tayong nakikita mga blowouts so far this season, but this is not going to be one of those games. It's going to be a chess match, and we're seeing, you know, it's very difficult to get an advantage over the other, and it's going to be up to the coaches and up to the players to figure out where are the little pockets that they can exploit in order to get an edge or an advantage here in the second half.
And we see, of course, corners just won, but that battle is taking place in the center of the pitch. It's like we're having that chess match between the two coaches. What more when we're going to see the substitutions? One yellow card each, I think, no surprise. We did see a hard challenge, or Ciriliano maybe with that maybe putting a match there. We'll get on that with that later. And here's the standings after we have that win from Cebu over 1 Taguig. And this just puts pressure on everyone else. And my, oh my.
Fantastic, right? The top 6 are really separating themselves, or the top 7 separating themselves from the rest of the pack. But it's so tight right there from 1st to 4th. It's anybody's game right now, and Stallion and Davao will be desperate to get maximum points in this matchup.
And there you go, pressure again on Davao and Stallion to get that result, as we will turn it pitch side to Naj Miravalles to give us a report.
Thank you, Claren Jing. Balikan ko lang. Dahil nga maganda ang pinapakita ni Daisuke Sato, he said that when things get tough, you have to go back to what you did in practice. In and off the pitch, Sato has always been a leader and a follower. Sabi niya he is always happy to share his experiences as a way of giving back not only to his team but to Philippine football. It seems like he doesn't worry that much about his team, because one thing about them is that they're not afraid to admit their weaknesses, and they always work hard to improve. And he believes that when a family member is down, you have to help him up, and that is how you will succeed as a team, as I send it back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Naj. And there you go. Pretty much giving the answer, explaining more on what happened earlier, Sato.
And one thing you can count on with Daisuke Sato is that he walks the talk, rather. Everything that he said there, he showcased in that first half.
And we'd like to remind you, of course, that we are powered by 8 Cuts Burgers. They are our official catering partner here at the Philippines Football League. And while you're at it, for those in the stadium, get your onion rings right by the grandstand. If you're not here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, you're missing out. So order online or do make your way to your closest 8 Cuts. You gotta love the onion rings.
Get them right here, you know? Perfect, perfect thing to accompany you in these PFL matches.
Yeah, pag cooling break, mag-onion rings tayo. I've been joking some of our colleagues, of course, tatayo ako, and I'm gonna buy onion rings. I'll leave one behind, we'll take turns. But eyes back here on the pitch. Both teams about to get locked in once more. Stallion Laguna and Davao Aguilas UMak still goalless. And it's been that midfield battle. And we've been loving it so far. Every matchup, we could say, between top teams, that's about the top 5 or 6. It's treated with that hype of a final, as we said again, because we have no finals match. The winner, after 14 games played after the single round robin, will be crowned as the champion here in the Philippines Football League.
As you said, there is no knockout round, but in terms of the buzz around this game, the stakes, para siyang playoff game, right? And that's why nakita natin yung the way these two teams played in that first half, medyo, they don't want to give anything away, right? Because if you find yourselves behind in a match like this, it's going to be so difficult to get one back. And staying solid is a priority for both teams. No? So opening up is perhaps going to be something that we'll see in the second half as legs start to tire. And medyo gamay mo na kung saan din yung potentially yung mga spaces na pwedeng i-exploit. So I'm really excited for the second half, Claro.
Finn McDaniel will kick off the second 45 minutes here. It would have been, of course, a treat to be a fly on the wall in the respective locker rooms and see what coaches would be executing or planning. But we'll just get to witness it here as we just await the referee's signal. And what are your expectations, Ching, in the first 15 we could say? Or you did say it, of course, but do you expect them to go full throttle right away o parang unti-unti katulad ng first half?
Well, one thing that I'm very interested to see is how Stallion adjusts their attack, right? Dahil ang bawat galaw nila parang basang-basa ng Davao as of the moment. No, they didn't really create anything too meaningful in that opening 45 minutes. Dinio Atara was untroubled, and in fact, all of the dangerous chances came on the opposite end. No, so whatever that they've been used to doing in cutting teams apart, including Taguig, who they scored 3 goals against, it's not working right now, right? They need to be quicker with their passes. They need to be able to shift from side to side a little bit faster dahil na-anticipate ng Davao kung anong gusto nilang gawin.
So it looks like they'll need to reinvent the wheel a bit. Well, for Davao, you think that approach can work for them on the counter? Hard-nosed defense, as they become known.
The way I see it, they don't have to change much, right? They have to stay. One thing that they have to do is to ensure that they maintain the level of discipline and organization.
As this one is eventually into the hands of Watara, and he was on the same page with Richard Talarok.
One thing na nakita natin so far this season sa PFL is that 80 minutes is not enough. 85 minutes of discipline or organization is not enough. You have to go all the way to the very end. And that's what Davao needs to do here if they want to get maximum points against Stallion.
They can't afford to slip up. It's in these matchups already. One mistake, one slip up, you're going to pay the price, a hefty one. As we saw, Ibrahima Indur clearly offside. Salazar. Nieras gets it back. Let's see if they'll cycle this one. Cortez, his previous stint was with Chiriaco FC in the United States. It's with Nieras again. Cleared by Shoma. That's Shoma Sato to be precise.
One thing that I would like to see is to get Finn McDaniel more involved. And when he's dropping in to try to receive the ball, he's being followed very, very closely by his marker, Shoma Sato. One thing that I would like to see as a potential is for him to drop in and then run in behind. Draw Sato into the midfield before finding the room in behind with his pace.
So let's see how Stallion will get to work on their counter, encountering that way to stop Finn McDaniel. Daniel, of course, as here is a run, but what a slide. That run, of course, was from Richard Talarok. The Talaroks, of course, have been full of energy, as expected.
Marami na tayong nabanggit ngayong gabi pero hindi pa natin nababanggit masyado si Richard Talarok, who has been very impressive on the left side, both defensively and, of course, had one of the better chances in that first half as well. He's got plenty of energy, and he's been very solid today.
Now it's about sustaining that again, as you said. And will it convert to a goal? But this spell looking promising for Davao Aguilas UMak. Ibrahima Indur couldn't get it. Galiana Trujillo now just gets it out for safety again. And we'll say it again. Who was involved? Richard Talarok. Trying to get in. Couldn't. Referee took no interest in that fall. And here comes Ciriliano now, dictating offense for them. Gives it to Finn McDaniel. McDaniel trying to dance past this man now. Pickering. What an effort from Davao. I see you shaking your head, Jing. Understandably, Gabe Silva has his work cut out up against Unoki.
Strangely enough, there was a head shake of approval, really, in how well they transitioned itong Davao Aguilas.
As they play this one, they try to play Dorado versus OJ Clarino. Cartalaro couldn't secure it. And it's cleared by Shoma Sato. Some tough pressure here. If Endur could force a mistake, he'll have a goal-scoring chance on his silver platter, but not the case. Just 4 minutes in now, both teams will try to re-establish themselves here. They'll try to also build on what they've accomplished in the first half. It looks like we see Davao settling in the midfield. Pickering over to Salazar. Diliana Trujillo moved in, which gave Salazar space, but just clamped down by 3 men. Sapal. Sapal, one of the big holdovers again. Ken Pride. Sent over to Nieras. Nieras also wearing a commentator's hat in the UAAP.
One of the better analysts that we have here in the country, Matt Nieras.
Ciriliano. Still no foul, just using his skill from the looks of it. OJ Clarino gets it.
And his physicality getting put on show there as well. Ciriliano is a big boy, and he just bodied Endur.
We see right there. Seemed good to you?
Yeah, very good. He's taken a bit of Joe Marie Sapal as well.
Yan yung gulang, no? Binabanggit natin. Of course, he's at that high level given his experience. As we see Peña check in. It's Jacob Peña. Another man, Junior Sam. Such an efficient player. 8 goals so far, and he's only played limited minutes for Stallion in this season. It seems, relative to the other matches, it seems relatively early that Coach Ernie's pulling the trigger. But then again, Jing, those matches were games that they were supposed to win. So, interesting roll of the dice now. It's not Ciriliano, but it's Dorado who stepped off.
But it seems for Peña that Ciriliano has given way.
Okay, there you go. Thank you for sorting that out.
So, quite a brave substitution there para kay Ernie Nieras. Of course, Ciriliano, one of his most potent weapons, especially on paper. He's done decently well today, but perhaps in moving the ball, he would want a bit more tempo. And he's thinking that that man to do that would be Peña.
So Peña, as we know, Filipino entering this one, a homegrown player. And just to clarify, right, for viewers, they may be asking, is it Jax? No, it is not. It's the brother. We got to address the elephant in the room. Schaffner down the line, going for Junior Sam.
Here's an interesting adjustment, bringing Sam into the game. Somebody who's going to be a little bit more direct, who's going to be a little bit more physical, and going to provide a different dynamic to the attack here. Removing Dorado, who has been nullified, if we're to be honest tonight. So putting Finn McDaniel over on the left flank and see what he's going to be able to create, and perhaps getting Peña to be a little bit more creative in the middle. There's a bit of a gamble there, claro, dahil si Peña, we're not sure if he's going to be as solid defensively as Ciriliano has been.
Right, still quite untested. But if he proves himself here, that's going to be huge. As it stays with Laguna. Pickering, give us the throw in. See the extra hustle from Coach Ernie, making sure the second ball didn't get into the pitch. Now Peña, a chance now to orchestrate this for them. Gets it back. with what you mentioned, Finn McDaniel on the wing, that is his natural position. With Junior Sam, he was just bulldozing opposition in the AFC Cup.
And mentioning the AFC Cup, this is what I'm seeing in this match, Claro. It's almost as if Davao is playing an AFC team, right? A lot of the Filipino teams, when they set up playing against superior clubs, they set up in such a fashion where they try to be more organized in defense and sort of ask the other team, sige, subukan mo kami i-breakdown, di ba? And right now, yung question na yan is being asked of Stallion. And they're finding it being on the opposite end of the spectrum quite difficult. You know,
Right.
It's not easy to be able to break down a back five that's well drilled, that's anticipating where you want to go on the pitch.
Flipping the switch of sorts, giving them a taste of their own medicine. With AFC competitions, the level being so high, of course, our Filipino teams were really tested. As we see Dini Watara. And again, as we said, will the Stallions just run riot here, or will Dini Watara spread his wings and give us his iconic celebration?
He's going to be hoping that somebody scores because he's not doing anything on the opposite end.
Right.
You know, something to keep him busy, Claro.
So which one, of course, will we see? Davao will resume with a throw-in. This is Claro Manzano on call for this match alongside Jing Ham Lang. You are catching this on pfl.org.ph, also on Blast TV, also on the likes of Premier Football and Premier Sports. They switched it now, though, over to Richard Talarok. Talarok trying to get past Pickering. Galliana Trujillo gets it, though. There was Daisuke Sato trying to get him. OJ Clarino gives it back to Ome, though. It still stays with the Aguilas. Now on the right wing, they take it. It came off of Nieras. That could have gone completely wrong with Disgracia, but not the case here.
Forced into a save. It was an easy one para kay Alfredo Cortez. But the Talaroks have been very, very dangerous in this game on both flanks. Cart and Richard, both of them are looking like they're real threats para sa koponan ng Davao.
Let's see if they'll lift them up in this one, as Ken Pride couldn't send it long. He did have Onoki just making it tough for him. As Onoki will wait for numbers now.
It's great work rate from the front man, defending from the front.
And you win it in a quite an advanced position, of course. It could be quick attacking opportunities. As the whistle, though, is against Davao, unfortunately for them. Earlier today, we did see Philippine Army FC and Minjola battle to a goalless draw. Army picking up their first point of the season. Quite an intense match, too. Looking back.
And this one, a different proposition. 0-0. But you can see like the little duels that have been taking place in this game. And the standard of football that's being played. You want to play first division football, you got to look very, very closely to this match. There's no time on the ball. There's so much, like the intensity that you need to bring in order to keep out Stallion. It's perhaps not really appreciated through the screen, but you can see here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium that when Davao transitions, they're sprinting for their life to get into position. And Sato here keeping Sam quiet so far since he's come on. It's not an easy task.
Doing his thing. He's throwing quite long. This one bouncing around. Will secure though. Galliana Trujillo couldn't get it though.
In a match like this, Claro, everything is being tested. Your technique, your cardio, your physical state, but also your mentality, your character as a player.
As we said and saw, Sato, Daisuke Sato to be precise, using his veteran moves. Dino Watara will send this back in And now we have our supporters groups going at it, trying to cheer over the other. Long ball now. The Satos will try to secure up against Junior Sam. Junior Sam previously with Ninjola. It was only a lone spell with Stallion last year, but with his performance on the regional stage, it's no surprise it's become a permanent move.
Yan ang gusto mo makita mula kay Sam. That's what he brings to the table that changes things up. His physical presence causes problems, and now they've gotten a corner kick here.
And with what you said, Sato just trying to get into his head, but Sam just much heftier. Galliano Trujillo, the outswinger. Watara off his line now. Salazar couldn't get it. Junior Sam trying to get it. He's up against Cartalarok. The latter winning now. And they have space. Will this work for them? And Nieras gives them a timely stop.
Absolutely crucial from Matt Nieras there, but look at this. Just causing havoc from the corner kick, and this is what Stallion needs to do.
Not just Davao running back for their lives, also Stallion. And we love how that bar is being set so high, of course. Competition.
I cannot understate how important that challenge was mula kay Matt Nieras, because the numerical advantage was there for Davao.
And right as you say that, Junior Sam is on the end of a tough one. It may have been Daisuke Sato. We'll try to double check. Or Dong Villarreal. And as we know, of course, and we'd just like to remind you that Star Polaris is the official match ball of the Philippines Football League. And thank you very much for your support.
So eto na yung ina-anticipate natin na tumataas yung tempo ng laro. It's opening up a little bit here, and Stallion is, to be fair to them, forcing the issue a little bit more, right? And with Sam being a real thorn in the side of Davao here, more set pieces are coming the way of Laguna.
So it's Finn McDaniel stepping up to the plate, the leading scorer of Stallion, and in the league, 2 assists to his name. Will he pad that tally? Came off an Aguila defender, though.
Sato with a great clearance. It was a fantastic ball from Finn McDaniel.
Gabe Silva just trying to keep it now. A great effort. It's by Richard Talarok.
Yung bola na yun mula kay Finn McDaniel, hindi siya masyadong mataas, and there's a lot of pace on it. It's dipping very quickly. It's a lovely ball to attack.
It's Charles Pickering with that long throw that can just change up the attack. They try to play it back wide. Pickering. And Pickering, a homegrown player. It's Galliano Trujillo. Oh, and here we go. There's a scuffle. Trujillo, one of the players. Sato's in it too from the looks of it. It looked like Trujillo and Omei.
What I love here is Omei's just walking away because he started it. But how quickly Davao have each other's back. And it's getting chippy out there, that's for sure. And the officials need to work very, very quickly here to separate the two sides. But you are not messing with any of these Davao Aguilas players, that's for sure.
Dong Villarreal heated, giving the accusing finger, as we saw. Finn McDaniel pacifying Junior.
That's going to be a classic clip of Omei just walking away from the trouble.
It was Omei and Galliano Trujillo, right?
Now, Omei doesn't back away from a challenge, that's for sure. But nung medyo nagkagulo na si Omei, parang guys, kayo na to.
Ito siya, Jing. Is it Omei there? Omei and Richard Talarok, tapos naging Omei and Galliana.
To be fair, he was just holding his ground.
There you
and
go.
Here we go.
Richard Talarok.
And Sato right there. Hey, look at that. They are backing up their teammate, not throwing any hands, right? So they're not trying to get themselves into trouble, but they are making it clear to everybody that you cannot get away with extra actions against our teammates.
And don't mess with my buddy, of course.
Yeah, and at the same time, instigating a little bit, and any extra action that you create from the opposition, you point it out to the referee. Uy, tinulak niya ata teammate ko ah. So now the referees have a decision to make, right? Are they going to start giving out cards here? Because now Ray Ritaga is being called in, or rather Segundo Saluria.
You and I have the benefit of replay up here.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of corroboration that needs to take place here.
Because after that settles, what you said, lahat, huy, ref, siya yung gumawa nito, di ba? Bring out their sumbongero hat, we could say. This could be game-changing, though.
See, there's a certain veteran nature to somebody like Daisuke Sato. He's the captain. He's in and around the area. He's trying to figure out what's being said. He's smart enough to get in the faces of the Stallion players without doing anything untoward.
So a yellow on Daisuke Sato. Looks like none in Junior Sam. He's escaped it.
But now, of course, there's going to be extras given. So yellow for Silva. And for whoever who was involved in that scuffle. I'm surprised Galeana didn't get any.
Right, kasi doon nag-umpisa, di ba? And I will say, I'm quite surprised it was Silva. He was a pacifier, pero maybe doon nagka-instigate ng konti, di ba?
Medyo nagkatulokan ng konti.
Maybe,
May extra.
well, oh, we see Daisuke Sato just giving or letting the linesman know what's in his mind. Tapos nag-sorry. Because we're just doing the lip reading as we know. And there you go, confirmation again. But with the way this is going, tagal ng stoppage.
This is,
We may see more cards. Baka game-changing.
what we're seeing is a masterclass here mula kay Daisuke Sato. You know, you're getting into the referee's ear, but it's not antagonistic. Yung mga iba kasi pag na-frustrate sila sa official, gusto nila yung puro nilalabas na nila yung galit nila. And really, that gets you nowhere with the officials further down in the game. No? So he's doing well here in getting into the referee's ear. Though obviously, he has to walk a tightrope himself. But we've still got plenty of football here. And here comes some of the more potent weapons mula dito kay Coach Ernie Nieros with Ivanovsky coming in. And now he's got Alessio as well.
Right, Christian Ivanovsky was hanging with the big boys again in the competition overseas as there's confirmation again on the yellow of Gabe Silva. But it seems right, of course, that we have players getting booked. Just to further add to my statement, as this is taken from distance, but we saw this over the bar. But enough to stress out, of course, the fans here. That is courtesy of Richard Cart Talarok, my apologies. Double trouble here, the Talarok brothers just making an impact in this game.
We've seen Paolo Pavone make his way into the match as well.
With Pavone, he is a local player.
Played for Ilocos United, if I'm not mistaken, back in the day.
What a throwback.
Yeah, finding his way back to the PFL.
One of the founding clubs too, right? Of the
right.
PFL, just like the two we're seeing here, Davao and Stallion.
That's great. It really is to see the old clubs back together and the level of the competition, right? It's just a matter of keeping this together and making sure that we see this week in, week out. And football fans, I'm sure, would be licking their lips to see matchups like this on a regular basis.
We definitely couldn't miss this one on a Mother's Day Sunday. Stalliana Trujillo got past one, made it two, couldn't make it three or four. Holding on to his upper arm though. Gabe Silva on the same page though as Freddy Cortez and gets it. And great distribution from the goalkeeper.
Clarino, great tackle. I was just about to say how excited I am that Ivanovsky is in the game in a tight match where the pockets are all covered by Davao. It takes individuals capable of a bit of magic to unlock the defense, and Ivanovsky is one of those players who has that in his bag.
Definitely with stints in the likes of Chile, also recently with LA Force, which is about the third tier in the States, but that's a high level, mind you, right?
We saw it in the last game even, kontra sa Taguig, yung napakagandang pasa niya to release, I believe it was Junior Sam. Yun yung mga capability nitong si Ivanovsky to unlock these tight defenses.
As this might be about the second corner kick only for Davao in this one. Bodies roughly inside, or pretty much inside the 6-yard box. A small rectangle there. Will this stifle, but it's Cortez, but it's taken low. A scramble. A shot was taken. Yeras got the stop. And there's a shot again over the bar. Chaos there, definitely favoring Davao, we even saw Salazar on the ground. That seemed to do the job also.
Wow, wow, wow. Talk about a mad scramble inside the box.
It's from OJ.
Yeah, that's with the block. Second opportunity, and it's what a save from Alfredo Cortez from point blank.
Well, here's a chance for a corner, but it looks like a different play now. An in-swinger. Cortez couldn't get it. He is down, but it's to no man's land. And it's a throw-in from deep. And this is looking good if it stays with Davao. Let's try to double check.
20 minutes of this to go. Not sure why it's going the way of Stallion. It looks like they've reversed it. Bola dapat ng Davao dito.
Freddy Cortez is the last to get the touch.
That's right.
Oh, there you go.
After a bit of confusion, they've gotten the right call.
And they're keeping the spell. Davao piling up the pressure now on Stallion Laguna. I wonder if they will take this one long. And how often do we see that?
That's a strange one.
Foul daw kasi ang tagal.
Oh, wow.
You barely see that. Madalas sa basketball lang di ba?
What was that?
And I apologize if I have to say that because we barely see it.
So rare, in fact, that that's the first time I've ever seen a turnover like that.
Same, that's why I apologize for my reference. As Sam is decked.
5-second violation daw.
That's the only way for me to explain it, Ching.
Wow.
I guess there's no other way, right?
Normally you'd see the referee tell you to go quicker about it. But,
Madalas may warning muna, di ba?
or if you do take too long, you'll get booked. But
Right.
not to turn it over to the opposite team.
Well, we don't see these teams keen on time wasting, as we know.
Wow. Bizarre.
With the call sticks, it's a McDaniel free kick from the wing. Will it be another assist for Finn? They'll take goals from anybody here, of course, when we refer to both teams. Pero offside daw ang tawag dito.
We're seeing how set pieces now, Claro, are becoming such a key part of this match because it's so difficult to open each other up in open play. Now it's the set pieces that are proving to be, the ones that cause a bit of issues in the back line.
A chance, of course, to move forward, get bodies in.
Yung maganda pa natin nakita. Claro, yung sa corner kick kanina ng Davao, they've been working on some interesting stuff.
We see, of course, they did just repeat that specific play. I'll call the first play, dun kayo mag-traffic sa 6-yard box. Didn't work. The second one, quite different. Salazar to Trujillo. Still with Juan. Juan getting it over. Salazar sends it low. McDaniel couldn't get it though. What a stop from Davao. Here comes Ivanovsky. Taking it, but definitely out and about.
A little bit ambitious there mula kay Ivanovsky. He's got the quality. And now we're seeing the shot discrepancy now in this game. It's opened up in a big way.
And with Davao, their shots not just coming from counter-attacking. And with passes completed, interesting as we see. 175 for Laguna. And that's the warnings we were talking about. Watara possibly taking his time.
Uh-oh. We saw there Daisuke Sato just struggling with a little something on his left hamstring. It's always a big worry.
Of course, we hope he's okay. We do hope to see Sato potentially in the national team in the upcoming window.
Was ruled out due to injury in the last one. Missed a couple games as well. You want to keep him on the pitch, Daisuke Sato, for many reasons. We've been able to expound quite a bit on him as a captain. Of course, he's a quality player as well. We all know that, but his leadership and his character on the pitch is a superpower para dito sa Davao.
Massive. As it is now over here with Unoki. Sapal was pulling the strings earlier. And with what he said about Sato, of course, he was demonstrating it. Out to the likes of Cart. Combinations on the right wing.
Still with Cart. Got past them. Great stuff. Onoki, promising ball forward. Indoor. Mukhang nagigigil dun.
Ang perfect word, nanggigil ng si Endure.
Of course, hindi naman nagmamadali kasi may lakad mamaya, no? Because this game's gonna end late night.
Oh boy. Daisuke Sato now needing a bit of treatment. He's trying to walk it off. It hasn't worked. The hamstring area, and it's a risky position that he's in because you want to soldier on, and you know the character of Daisuke is that he would like to stay onto the pitch, but it's an easy one to aggravate, especially in a match where he's sprinting back into position on a regular basis. And ito yung kanina, Endure, siguro lumingon din siya and wala masyadong numbers sa loob ng box, so he just decided, you know, might as well take an opportunity.
Rather than just give the ball away cheaply, of course. So now play will resume here for Stallion. There's Kalyana to heal you too. Now, hoping that magic spray will work for Sato in particular. Sato livid though at the half line, still can't get it back to the pitch.
May konti kasing dugo sa elbow niya. And sinasabihan siya na hindi siya makapasok ulit sa pitch kung meron siyang dugo on his elbow, no? So he tried to just brush it off and say na, sige na, papasukin mo na ako. But the referee was standing firm with his decision. So it's 11 against 10 at the moment, and Stallion are trying to take advantage.
Of course, some safety precaution, of course. Wounds need to be covered. Here comes Ivanovsky to stop by the defense. Junior Sam. Stallion players almost getting into a collision. Muntik na nakapanggaan. Gabe Silva trying to support. Ibrahima Indoor just got his body in the line. And it looks like Sato, or one of the players, has got that forward. Indoor. Deep lying now. Quite scary there, or good chance for Davao because Silva was keeping OG Clarino on side. We see someone here taking a fall against Junior Sam.
That's Sato. You see the size discrepancy between them. Daisuke knows how to throw his body around.
Next thing, Sato's on the side. Next thing you know, he's just there hounding you like a fly, right? Sato all over the place.
Look at that, Junior Sam. His arm went out a little bit. That's enough for the call.
Sato up and fine. Now the free kick from Watara. They'll try to advance it quickly. About 14 minutes remaining until additional time. And it's eventually secured. Yusuke Onoki tried to just maximize or draw something out of that. And back and forth again, as you pointed out earlier, given the circumstances. The game opening up.
It's been night and day. First half and the second.
OJ taking a fall. Referee takes no interest in that. I'd like to see the replay, of course. We'd definitely like to take a second look. Will be very interesting, but now Sam gives it. The defense just locked in with the Shoma Sato.
There we
Lovely
go.
stuff. And this one, as we see,
Couldn't be more offside than where OJ Clarino was right there.
I was waiting for the whistle, but they didn't play the ball. But here was that one.
Oh, the leg got stuck out, but it didn't look like contact was made. Matt Nieres able to pull his leg back in time to avoid nicking OJ Clarino there, who looked like he was looking for the contact.
But now it's Sam. This game just heating up, getting even more physical. As we see the fall here.
0.5 seconds na delay mula kay Sam, pero alam niyang natamaan na siya. Might as well take it
Veteran moves kick in, right?
and go down, but there was definitely contact from Ome there.
Daisuke Sato and Dong Villarreal just giving out some last-minute instructions. This is from Finn McDaniel distance. Will he connect? Taken off Watara.
Gets it though. Denies a rebound, but it appears to be hurt and was hit from the looks of it. This one quite heated again, Jing. And
Yellow
there's the
card.
yellow. It's on Salazar from the looks of it.
Yeah, he came in for the rebound as Otara was looking to gather, but what a free kick from Finn McDaniel. Yeah, it looked like he already had control of the ball before he came in.
Medyo late nga, as you said. You see John Mike Basinang, of course, just making sure he's still in control of everything. Let's take another angle.
Masakali pa si Salazar kahit nahawak na sa may chest.
Richard Talaro got what he ordered though. Isang dilaw daw.
Yep, deserving of the yellow, Jesus Salazar. And perhaps difficult to appreciate from that angle, no, yung free kick na yun mula kay Finn McDaniel, but it didn't have that natural spin to the ball, so it's difficult to judge the flight of it. It was kind of moving all over the place, kaya naman hindi nakuha kaagad ni Uwatara.
And how often do you say, of course, Watara has loose handles as McDaniel tried to flick it. It was cleared over by Shoma Sato. And it stays with Laguna. And Jing, of course, you gave out your assessment, your analysis. What are you expecting from the two teams? If you go through another checkpoint, 10 minutes remaining. You expect any more adjustments here, or what do you want to see?
Well, I'll tell you what I hope to see is that it remains at this tempo with both teams going for the 3 points and not setting up shop to try to share the points, right? And right now we're seeing that both teams are pushing to get the winner.
So we have a change. Ibrahim Endor will check out. In comes Uriel Dalapo. A like-for-like change, mind you.
Not quite in terms of physicality that Endor brings, but we'll see what Uriel Dalapo is able to contribute to the match. Been a frustrating evening para kay Endor. He did work hard and provide the cutting edge para dito sa koponan ng Davao.
Ibrahim Endor unable to add any goals, of course, to his 5-goal tally. He is the leading scorer of Davao Aguilas UMak. And in comes Uriel Delapo, a former Philippines U19 who hails from Kitapawan City.
Endor getting a handshake from Coach Rusgal, who's going to be pretty happy with the contribution that he's made today. He's going to be on the wrong side of 2 highlights in this match.
Counted 2 megs, is that right? I remember one clearly.
1 meg and one where he's getting bodied by Ciriliano.
All right.
All in all, though, he's done what was needed, which was to provide the energy up top, and to provide an outlet for them, and to be the first line of defense for Davao.
And they've been hustling hard in this one, as we know and as we've seen. But there's no support here for Galiana Trujillo to win it. Sato's just gonna try and get it. Agawan buko ng konti sa gitna. Davao secure it now. It's over. They hit it out wide. Cortez just letting it run out. Off. Out and past the line. When we assess the keepers, both relatively busy, we could say.
Cortez probably a smidgen more busy. That point-blank save. He's been tested. He's had his crossbar hit.
Towering at about 6'3". They try to get it over. Stopped well by Daisuke. And now Dalapo first touches. Cartalarok did well to find OJ Clarino. One of his teammates, of course, he tried to link up with on the right wing. Lovely stuff from Salazar. But he's not on the same page there with Nieras. Nieras found himself a little high as a result earlier. And here's the stop, but it's still in. Nieras, the last-ditch stop. OJ Clarino got it back into the middle. You like this if you're Davao. And it came off a Stallion man now, but here comes Richard. Well, what a stop here for Laguna. Both teams, of course, have just been able to come up with a counter for the counter, an answer for one chance or ball to throw here and there.
Positive movement mula sa Davao. Nakita natin how they try to open up with the ball on the ground. Showing great potential here, but Stallion holding firm.
Cortez trying to get it to the attacking half quickly. Salazar from Pavone. Ivanovsky. Nieras back to Salazar. Salazar will essentially, or was essentially the playmaker now. Ciriliano stepped off as we saw earlier. 6 or less than 6 minutes remaining until additional time. No goals to show, but it's been quite a match here. Both teams slugging it out as Sam fails to control it.
There's a sense that there's still potential for a winner here. Davao have been probing, Stallion have been probing. There's really not one side that you could say has the clear advantage at this moment. Ernie Nieras, nakikita natin sa sideline, he hasn't changed his disposition all that much.
It's in the middle, sent out. They try to give it to Cart. Soomay couldn't exactly get it to him now, and here comes Salazar. Galliano in the middle, referee plays advantage. One body from each team. Took a fall, Ivanovsky got past Clarino, but great support. Somehow keeps it though. Daisuke Sato has got that tackle. Stallion will cycle from the looks of it. Yes, we did say a while ago, Placito is injured for Stallion, but he is on the bench in case, as there's a strike from McDaniel, stopped by Villarreal. Getting forward now, trying to trigger offense quickly. You love the initiative and work rate. And here's a foul. And it will go Davao's way, but it's from the back though.
Alam mo, may confidence itong si Finn McDaniel when that ball bounced to him. It was an awkward height, but he went to smash it right away. If Sato didn't get in his body in the way there, that could have been a dangerous one.
Finn McDaniel knew the drill, so did Daisuke Sato.
I think it actually was his bigger alter ego. It was Shoma Sato who got his body in the way.
Definitely not twins, right? That's why when we say you deal with Davao, their backline, you deal with the Satos. Counted Papa's family business there, I'm not so sure. Dalapo. And he has Richard on the overlap, gets past. Pavone though, cuts it in. But there was no angle already from the get-go. Yung Davao na ng corner kick. Pero baliktad daw dito, sabi ng ating referee.
I thought it was a corner kick, but we are now becoming familiar with Uriel Dalapo's game here.
Skills that pay for the bills. Might have come off Gabe Silva in that last replay we saw.
Let off the hook a bit, perhaps, itong Stallion Laguna.
And Cortez just have this rocket of a kick, as we know. Junior Sam. Finn McDaniel couldn't get to it though. Dong Villarreal will try to storm again. Took a fall, referee played advantage. He'll try to take this opportunity. And here they go now. Uriel Dalapo. Some step overs, takes it and makes it!
What a goal!
What a finish! Fantastic skill. They get Davao in the driver's seat. One hand, we could say, on the 3 points in the dying stages. Sent it past the defense, got past the defense, got past Cortez. There you go.
Sensational from Uriel Dalapo. A beautiful finish, curls it in off the side netting. Wow.
Goal of the season candidate. We could say that, right?
100%. if you see it from behind, it curls from outside of the post in. It's a delightful finish.
And it means the world to them, of course, because of the scenario in the game, the scenario in the standings. Davao gunning to keep their 100% record alive. They are trying to keep it, of course, with 5 wins in as many games. But it looks like this will have to be kicked off again. That goal in the 89th minute. Goal of the season candidate. I think it could be sigurado tayo. Goal of the week. That's for sure.
I don't know, I'm gonna be honest with you, Claro. I was not familiar with Uriel Dalapo's game, and I sure as hell am now. Wow. Stand up, sir. Take a bow.
Dalapo, as we knew, a constant in the last campaign of Davao. Getting playing time regularly in the Copa. Davao, despite of them having some stars, also that well-oiled machine, that blue-collar mentality of the players that they carry. Still carrying that on, actually, Jing, from the Copa Paulino Alcantara, the most recent tournament.
Mula nung pagkapasok niya, Claro, he was already making a positive impact. Here, another angle of that one. No chance for the goalkeeper. Talk about inches inside of that post. We're gonna scour every angle of that goal because it deserves it. When you see it, the way it curled, it looked like it was heading outside of the post and it just curled right in. My God.
Well, we did see Cortez, of course, try to reach for it. He did just stand around and say, "Huy, wala to," or it's going outside.
Pero ang dami niya pang kailangan gawin dun. When that ball came out to him, he still had to beat his man. He still needed to get into position to shoot, and he needed to get his shot on target. And he checked all the boxes. And the time in which he's done it here, you know, like the stakes of the game, everything on the line. But hey, still so much time, Claro.
7 minutes of additional time. About a minute done and dusted already.
Di pa tayo tapos dito.
Peña got it over to Ivanovsky. The long ball from Christian. Sam couldn't get it though. And it's with Sato. Sato's mechanics or movements maybe a little awkward.
Just trying to stay on the pitch.
It's Paolo Pavone with the name Alessio at the back of his jersey, taking this throw down the line. Junior Sam, it's 4-on-1, 4-on-2. Galeana Trujillo, he's been hustling hard here, goes for the back post!
Oh my, what a miss!
We thought that was on target from the get-go, from our angle. Close one for Gabe Silva.
Couldn't ask for a better chance than that. Failed clearance, and you're right there, 6-yard box. Sabihin na natin medyo dehado siya dahil on the stretch, pero sa amount of chances or the few chances that they've had, this is a golden opportunity for Silva.
Will this go begging? We'll find out, of course. About 5 minutes remaining until we hit the 7th minute. It's sure been a treat witnessing this match. We still do have a great number of titanic clashes here in the Philippines Football League. So we have a throw-in. So this will be retaken. It will be pretty much at the half line.
Lahat ng hinahanap mo sa isang laro ng football, nakikita natin in this contest.
Talk about people ending or spending their Sunday night. The throw-in from Pavone. Ivanovsky couldn't get it to Peña though. Cortez gets it now here to him. And now they'll try to go with an individually and highly skilled guy like Christian Ivanovsky.
Uh-oh.
But he gives it away. That sense of urgency, forcing that error.
half-hearted transition mula sa Davao. But they still could find a bit of room here on the right side.
They'll try to search now cautiously for the insurance goal. Long ball, but it's to the offside players. And they'll just leave it, of course, to let some time tick off the clock. A retake, of course, that ball was still rolling.
Bagong team to sa PFL, you know, itong Davao. At least, you know, since they've been gone for quite a period, this is basically a fresh team in the PFL in this first division. Pero hindi halata sa kung paano sila maglaro. Klaro, parang veteranong-veterano. You know, hindi sila nagmamadali. They know how to waste time. They know how to manage the game.
Being straight to the point also in that scenario, right? Burning time off the clock. Junior Sam, this one rattled around. No, and as you said, right? These guys, they were labeled pretty much surplus discards in the PFL. Davao returning to the Philippines Football League competitions first with the Copa. So for sure they got a chip in their shoulder, and then they're well drilled, of course.
Isa sa mga tanong natin before this game was, dahil hindi pa natitest ang Davao Aguilas, tunay ba na title contender sila? Sure, 4 na panalo, hindi pa sila nagko-concede ng goal. Pero yung mga tinalo nila, yung mga mid-table, lower table teams, no? So, malaking question mark kung paano sila maglalaro kontra sa isang team katulad ng Stallion Laguna, a true veteran in this division, and this year, a real contender. I think we've gotten a lot of answers tonight. Again, still a clean sheet for Davao here after 5 matches and having played Stallion now. That's incredible.
And if they get that to stick again, a 100% record. We see 100% because that's 0 draws, 0 losses. As we take a look again here.
You never get tired of this. Oh my goodness.
Nahilo ako dun, naaliw din.
Oh my goodness. If there's any way to decide a game, you'd want it to be that way.
With a banger. And with that, of course, Dini Watara also bringing out the clock management, as we see. So if we try to get an update or a live update with our standings, Stallion Laguna 13 points, Davao Aguilas FC 15 points, and will move to second place. 1 point behind league leaders Kaya FC Iloilo, but Davao will have a match on hand.
That's right.
So they're putting the pressure on everybody when we think of it, because huy, nanalo to. Dahil dun, kailangan natin manalo para lamang pa tayo sa standings.
I'll tell you right now, Claro, everybody's been put on notice. Everybody who's chasing that title will know when they play against Davao, it is not a game that to take lightly. This is going to be one that you're going to be forced to dig deep.
Because we see their fans, as this is a foul throw. Definitely not a 5-second violation, quote unquote. Foul throw, talaga. But with that, of course, their first wins, their fans were saying they were not impressed. Obviously, Coach Aber wasn't impressed. David Abella, one of their diehard fans, frustrated because they only won 1-0 in the initial matches. But midway through the season, if this is them peaking, it's got to be the right time. As that ball went to Ivanovsky's upper body, they were asking for a handball. The referee with no call there.
Omei just getting distance.
Just trying to cause havoc here. And we are past the 7-minute mark already. This could be the last roll of the dice and the last few kicks of the game again. It's Uriel Dalapo who gave the lone goal in this one so far. And here's a forward ball. They got it now. Junior Sam still with him. With traffic, the shot taken. It came off a teammate, I think, from the looks of it. Pavone took that shot. And from what I saw, it came off a teammate. Talk about the timing for friendly fire.
Wow. Muntikan pa doon mula sa Stallion Laguna. And Dini Owatara mabibigyan dito ng dilaw. John Mike Basinang not impressed.
He's been playing the cards, right?
He's thinking this is time wasting rather than an actual injury. You see him just go down here under no pressure, really, but at the moment, it did look like it came off a teammate.
So here we go. This is why we are having time put up on top of stoppage time. Because Watara did stop play also earlier in added time.
That's right. Dahil binigyan ng treatment, nagkaroon ng added time in added time, no? So injury time within the added time.
So parang naging extra time na ng konti. But as we saw with the new interpretation with the loss of the game, if you're gonna waste time, well, the referees are just gonna add it up. Especially, nag-umpisa nun in the recent FIFA World Cup. The World Cups, mind you, the men's and the women's. Ayan, okay na daw. So now the added time here to added time is at the discretion of our referee, John Mike Basina.
That's right. We might get all the way into like 11 minutes here, but he's had a look at his watch already.
Nonetheless, you do not want to be in a scenario like this if you're Stallion. If you're Davao, of course, hey, so far so good. You want to hold on, kapit lang at the least. Just given here, Gabe Silva taken and denied by Ome. What ball control here. Keeping it in, burning time off the clock, advancing. It's still the money man, Horiel Dalapo.
This guy, unbelievable.
And it's still now with Onoki.
Come on.
And balling again. They're loose, right? They have the lead.
Dalapo, what a baller.
Certified baller. Lick the stamp and send it. This is the night where he got certified.
Goodness me.
So it is a corner. We can expect that, of course. They'll keep it by the flag. Davao keeping their team back at the half line.
Not a single player went up for that one. And he might be correct here, Yusuke. Mukhang tumama sa player ng Stallion, pero goal kick ang ibinigay.
Interesting. And it's now with Peña. And there's some pressure. Ken Pride playing it long. Gabe Silva flicked it. Ivanovsky couldn't get it. Talarok is there to change it up. And there you go, the full-time whistle. You see the celebrations here, Jing, in the Davao side of the stadium, intertechnical area. You could see how much it means to them. Upsetting Stallion Laguna FC, or do you even say it's an upset, right? Given how Stallion, I will say objectively, was favored by a lot. But this is the first loss of Laguna. Davao Aguilas, 5 wins in as many games. And they get themselves up now to 2nd place. And they're really gonna shake up the standings here. What a performance. Oriel Dalapo, that's the game summary.
Incredible. Mula dito sa Davao Aguilas, UMak FC in their first big test. You gotta give them an A+ in this one. Is it an upset? Yes. In this one, yes. Because when you look at the team sheets and the way and the reputation of Stallion Laguna, ine-expect ng lahat ng Davao Aguilas ay medyo dehado sa laro na to. But after this match, to mark Davao Aguilas as an underdog in any other match now with any contender would be a mistake, Claro.
Right, because when you were assessing the squad again, right, it's just Daisuke Sato. Who's next? Sato and friends, but again, high quality role players, right? Someone's gonna do the dirty work, and when it's Davao, everyone's gonna do it. They're willing to put in the work. What a result here. What a weekend of football.
Incredible.
Right? And I'm excited na ako sa susunod na linggo already, but applause here all over the place. Understandably, there is that frustration for Laguna. And parang nagiging Hunger Games of sorts because 3 AFC slots last year. Ngayon, 2 na lang, di ba? And what a match here as we are going to eventually honor our moment, man of the match. We're just getting things sorted out. And surprise na lang, sino yung man of the match natin? But it's obvious. That's why I'm saying it's a surprise. And what a game here. Just speechless. And we will turn it over to Najmir Abalias for our interview.
Thank you, Jing and Claro. I'm here with the moment man of the match ng Davao Aguilas, Uriel Dalapo. Uriel, kanina ilang minuto na lang yung natitira pero sinigurado mo talagang kayo yung mag-uuwi ng panalo. Ano yung nakita mo during that stretch?
I was just ready because Coach Aber told me na you're not the first 11, pero you have to be ready because whenever I put you, that's crucial. I want you to score goal. I want you, every time you have a chance, has to be a goal. One chance, one goal. He always says that to me. So I guess I delivered today, so thank you, Lord. Yeah.
Uriel, ito nga yung team na isa sa mga malalakas dito this season. Anong masasabi mo na ganito nag-end yung matchup nyo?
For me, it was satisfying. It was satisfying na we end up, we're still 0 conceded goal. We haven't conceded any goal. And we still haven't lost. We still, no draws, all win. And we're proud of that, and we want to continue it until the end of the season. Thank you.
Congratulations, Uriel, and thank you. Once again, man of the match, Uriel Dalapo of Davao Aguilas. Back to you guys.
Was he more nervous in that interview?
Thank you.
Was he more nervous in that interview, or was he more hyped up? But you know, you get what I'm trying to say. Here's the updated standings, Jing. They shook it up as we said.
No, it was a perfect interview mula kay Uriel Dalapo, encompassing everything about that strike and that victory for this team. Davao Aguilas, they are in second place with a game in hand. They are fully deserving of their position at near the top of the standings. They are a contender now this season, and they're going to be a team to watch here in the PFL.
Davao Aguilas, UMak getting themselves a step ahead of some competition now. They've got their eyes set on league leaders Kaya FC, but for Stallion, yes, they lost that game, but also not lost. Nandun pa rin sila. They're hanging on. They're in the same tier as we see, but that's fantastic stuff, right? Acknowledging the fans who came out. They were here drumming all the 90 minutes in this one as we take a look at the highlights here just to keep you company. But what a game now in behalf of the entire broadcast crew. This was Carl Manzano on call for this match alongside Jing Hamlang in behalf of Direct Francis Opilio.
Claro, before you sign off, I'm just gonna say
Go
that
ahead.
Daisuke Sato calling out to me, saying that I told you, because last week he was watching the game of Stallion. He was telling me, we've got these guys. Tatalunin namin to. And they have certainly delivered today. Unbelievable game, unbelievable performance from Davao Aguilas.
My oh my, they were actually scouting the game here just close to one of our offside cameras last weekend, but we will say goodbye once more, of course, in behalf of Direct Francis Opilio, analyst Jing Hamlang. This was yours truly, Clara Manzano, on call for this one. Pitch side reporter Najmira Valles. Sayonara from this one, and like what Daisuke Sato said, I told you.
Always try to put me down on the ground, but I never be jealous, cause I'm the right in their mind. In their minds, swear with me, boy, don't go right in their minds. Come on, at me, boy, this a fight.